Hey guys, this is Miss Arlequin, and in this video, I'm going to go over how to answer questions about an author's development of their key ideas. So questions like this are asking us to work on the Common Core Standard RI 6.2. Remember that the R in any Common Core Standard means reading, and the I stands for informational text. 6 is for 6th grade, and this is the second informational standard. So RI 6.2 asks us to determine a central idea of a text and how it is conveyed or how it's shown or developed through particular details. And this standard also asks us to provide summaries of a text that do not have any personal opinions or judgments. Now, since this is a two-part standard, questions like this are really asking us to focus on the first part of the standard, to look at not just the central idea, but the way the author is developing their central idea. And so that brings us to how do authors actually develop their central ideas or their overall messages? Well, basically, when you're a writer, you have a topic that you want to explore, you have a message about that topic that you're trying to communicate, and you communicate or develop that topic through techniques. So some techniques that an author might use is they might give examples. They might provide anecdotes or short little stories. They'll describe relationships between ideas. So they might have some cause and effect relationships, or they might introduce a problem and then some possible solutions. They can give facts, statistics, or data to support their central idea. They can quote experts. They might describe personal experiences, and there are some other techniques, although these are some of the main ones that most authors are going to use. All right, so I'm going to model this type of question for you with a very short passage about the Olympian Michael Phelps, the amazing Michael Phelps. At the 2004 Olympic Games in Athens, Greece, Michael Phelps represented the United States in the swimming events. His amazing talents earned him 6 gold medals and 2 bronze medals. Only one other person has ever won more gold medals in a swimming competition. In 1972, Mark Spitz won 7 gold medals. Spitz retired after his Olympic Games, but Michael Phelps may have more competition ahead of him. He was only 19 at the Olympics in Greece. In some ways, Michael Phelps is like many other young people. He grew up outside of Baltimore, Maryland, with his mom and 2 sisters. His parents got divorced when he was very young. His mother worked as a teacher and helped drive Michael to practice. He says he owes a lot of his success to her help. Both of his sisters were good swimmers, and he followed them into the pool. Even at a young age, Michael has had extensive experience as an athlete. When he was 11, he started swimming seriously, going to practice 7 days a week. During each practice, he swam about 6,000 yards. That is 240 laps of the pool. He also lifted weights. At age 15, he became the youngest man ever to set a world record in the 200-yard butterfly. But he also won the national championship in 3 different events: butterfly, backstroke, and freestyle, or crawl. Michael Phelps has a body that seems specifically designed for swimming fast. He is 6 feet and 3 inches tall and weighs 165 pounds. He is long and lean, so he moves over the water easily. He has very long arms and size 14 feet. His coaches say that his big hands and feet are like flippers that help him swim as efficiently as a dolphin. When he was getting ready for the Olympics, Phelps focused his whole day on training. He lived close to the pool in Baltimore, so he woke up at 5:45 a.m. and swam from 6 a.m. to 7:30 a.m. Then he went to Towson High School all day, but he got to start at 8:45 a.m., a little later than others. After school, he ate a snack, then trained for another 2 hours in the pool. Then he spent another 45 minutes lifting weights and stretching. He went home at around 6:45 p.m., ate a huge dinner, and went to sleep at 9:30 p.m. With all of that training, he still made time to do his homework. Once a week, doctors tested his blood to make sure he was healthy and getting proper nutrition. The hard work and discipline paid off at the Olympics and also in school. Now that he has graduated from high school, Michael Phelps lives near the University of Michigan. He is training and studying. He also volunteers as a spokesperson for Boys and Girls Clubs of America. He works for an organization called Pathfinders for Autism. He also volunteers at a school to help kids learn to read. He is an amazing young person who uses his own success to help other young people succeed. All right, so the question that we have to answer is, how does paragraph 5 contribute to the overall message of the article? Use 2 details from the article to support your response. So a question like this is asking you to, first of all, focus on the specific lines or paragraph that the question is referring to, but it's then asking you to connect that specific section to the overall message of the article. So the first thing you need to do is you need to figure out what was the overall message. In other words, what did the author want us to learn or realize about the topic? What's the central idea? So since this is a biography, I know that the message is going to be about Michael Phelps. So it has to be a claim about Michael Phelps, an opinion, a perspective, something that I was supposed to learn about Michael Phelps overall from all of the paragraphs. And then once I figure out what that overall message is, I then want to think about how the particular section that the question is asking me to look at, how does that particular section help deliver that message? So is the author, going back to that previous slide, giving an example that proves the central idea? Is he giving an anecdote? Is he describing a relationship like a cause and effect that helps develop that central idea, or any of these other techniques? So for this specific question, if I go back to the entire passage, I know that overall, and this is where I'm going to retell, I'm going to kind of summarize in my mind to get central idea. I know that this passage was about Michael Phelps, about basically how amazing he was, about how even at a young age, he was able to do things in the pool that most other people couldn't. And it even starts out by talking about the 6 gold medals and the 2 bronze medals that he won, which is really, really ridiculous. We know when we got visited by the Olympian, Derek Adkins, just a couple of weeks ago, that he talked about how most people only win 1 medal, maybe 2. And he actually mentioned how Michael Phelps is a real phenomenon because he's won so many medals. That's not common. And it talked about how hard he works, the number of laps he can do in a pool, how much he lifts weights, and just all of the really hard work he puts into being the best swimmer that he can. It talked about him physically and how amazing he is. And then it talks about not just his discipline, but how all of that hard work pays off when he's going to the Olympics and also in school. All right, so overall, what did I learn about Michael Phelps? I learned that he's pretty amazing. So how does paragraph 5 help prove that Michael Phelps is this amazing athlete? Well, when I focus in on that paragraph, I see that this is describing his actual workout routine and how he'll wake up really super early in the morning to go swimming, and how he'll spend all this time, 45 minutes, lifting weights, and how he makes sure he actually goes to bed at a pretty decent time, 9:30, and how with even all of that working out, he still makes time to do his homework. So this really shows the dedication and the hard work that he's putting into being an amazing athlete. So the overall message is that Michael Phelps is an amazing athlete, and this paragraph develops that idea by showing us the hard work and dedication he puts into it. And my specific details can be the specific things he does to work hard. All right, so just keep in mind that whenever you have a question like this, you really want to make sure that you're breaking that question down and you're not just talking about the one paragraph or the group of lines, that you're also stating what the overall message of the article is. You're stating what that message is, and then you're proving the message through details from that paragraph or that section of the text.